Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you're all having a great, wonderful day. Well, unfortunately, I was not able to get a full day stuff here. I've been swamped today. I haven't been able to get videos out. But the point being is that we're here now, and that's what we're going to be doing it. So we're going to be going over money laundering that's been happening in LA, well, including with the fashion business, and then we're also going to be going over. A lot of these riots, these LA riots, or all the riots in particular, are being funded. And now it's not by just Walton or Christy Walton, but it's also by other organizations as well, which is pretty crazy. So what we have here is this. We have this here to where we have the fashion business in this particular order, where we have the LA Fashion District wholesaler and two of its executives found guilty of money laundering and avoiding tariffs and taxes. Says wholesale clothing importer located in the fashion district of downtown LA, and two of its executives have been found guilty by a jury of avoiding the payment of more than $8 million in customs duties on imported clothing and of running a scheme in which the company laundered money and failed to report on tax returns more than $17 million derived from cash transactions, the Justice Department announced today. This was on October 30th, 2024. At the conclusion of a 6-week trial, a federal jury on late Tuesday found the following defendants guilty of dozens of felonies. Says Tony Jeans, which imported apparel from China and other nations, exported clothing to customers in Mexico, Central America, and South America. And Sheila Rue, 70, of a La Canada Film Trade CTG's president and 70% owner of the company, and Lance Rue, 37, of downtown LA, CEO Rue's son, a TJ corporate officer and the owner of another LA-based company called JLR Incorporated, did business as CTJ. The jury found CTJ and CEO Renu guilty of 2 conspiracies and multiple counts of failure to report of currency transaction over $10,000 in a trade or business. The jury also found all 3 defendants guilty of 3 counts of entry of falsely classified goods, 3 counts of entry of goods by means of false statements, 3 counts of passing false and fraudulent papers through a custom house, and 2 counts of international potential money laundering. So they even go on to say here was that money laundering is the lifeblood of a large-scale drug trafficking, and it is therefore essential that we go after businesses and individuals that feed criminal organizations that the money that they crave, said United States Attorney Martin Estrada. A jury found this corporation facilitated the laundering of drug proceeds, and now they will probably be held accountable. Together with our law enforcement partners, my office will continue to bring to justice businesses that facilitate criminal activity. This verdict once again demonstrates that working with drug trafficking organizations is a bad business model, said Homeland Security Investigations Los Angeles agent in charge Eddie Wang. This verdict should send a strong message to those who utilize their businesses to aid the cartels that the HSI LA, El Camino Real Financial Crimes Task Force, and partners at U.S. Customs and Border Protection and the IRS Criminal Investigation will work tirelessly to hold you accountable. So yeah, that's what's been going on here. And apparently some of these riots, allegedly by this woman here, said that it wasn't due to the ICE protests or the ICE rounding up illegals, right? It was due to the fashion district of doing money laundering. Take a look.
Riots got started in Los Angeles, not because ICE was going in and arresting people who came here illegally, but because the fashion district had an investigation going on where they were smuggling and laundering money in from Mexico and Colombia. They did not report over 80 million in goods, and they did not pay over 17 million in taxes.
Which bring this back to here with the LA Fashion District wholesaler and 2 of its executives found guilty of money laundering and avoiding tariffs and taxes. So that's what lines up with this here. So now we could say that's a thing here or what have you, but that is be the case. Again, now what we have here is Kristi Noem talking about how there's money laundering and other things going on as well, including Tom Holman that was also talking about this whole situation. So without further ado, here's these clips.
But we also have the IRS here that's helping us track how these violent protesters are funded, what NGOs out there, what unions, what other individuals may be funding.
When I was talking about the fashion district, wasn't an immigration raid. It was the service of 3 criminal warrants at locations based on a large criminal conspiracy that ICE is investigating. That has to do with money laundering, tax evasion, and customs fraud. And it's part of an overall conspiracy on numerous businesses that they believe that some of this money is being laundered in Mexico and Colombia to fund cartel activity.
Yeah, so what we have here is just another side of money laundering, and and ICE going after those people. Now we have more on that as well, but first we're going to do with this here with the Data Republican or what have you, with this stuff. So again, we have says this here: follow the money, the behind the No Kings rally. Data Republican has launched an interactive open source map showing how tax dollars flow to organizations involved in the No Kings rally. I tracked funding from federal sources to final recipients, prioritizing direct paths whenever possible. Most paths still went through donor-advised funds, the black box of the nonprofit world. Unfortunately, it's a common and opaque funding structure that deserves scrutiny. Click on Federal Grant Flow for any No Kings organization to open any visual flow chart, tracing dollars from origin to destination. Also, you can save any graph as an SVG and take it wherever you need. So that's what's going on here. So what we have here is that we have the National Democratic Institute, and the National Endowment for Democracy gives a whole bunch of money, 196,083 million, it looks like, to American Center for International, which is taxpayer funds are 72 million. You have the Board of Trustees of the Leland giving money to Silicon Valley Community Foundation. That is $100,000. That's $100,000. You have the American Center for International, which has been giving money to National Democratic Institute and National Endowment for Democracy is with the Chinese Progressive Association. And then you have the World Wildlife Fund is giving 1.2 million, and the Nature Conservancy is giving 617,000 to Windward Fund. Then you have the Legal Aid Foundation of LA giving money to Liberty Hill Foundation. And then you have all these other organizations and then down below you have this here, where another one is giving to an Amalgamated Charitable Foundation. And all these companies are these funds, etc., are being directed to the BVM Capacity Building Institute. So, and that's where all this money is being allocated to here. And then when we go to the nonprofits linked to the 14 June 2025 No Kings rally, it says ACLU Foundation of Texas is C Federal Grant Flow, and that's 3.3 million. The ACLU of Utah Foundation Incorporated is doing that too. So again, what we have here is massive laundering here, massive money laundering, and that's insane here. That's what we have. So again, this is not just due to the ICE raids. This is also money laundering on a grand scale. This is massive. And let's go in terms of injury. This is not the only thing that we have a concern here as well, because with the people that we have this here where Homeland Security has ICE LA arrested a 53-year-old illegal alien from Cambodia. He has a criminal history, includes a conviction for transport of a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance, lewd action with a child, and battery. Then you have another one here that has ICE LA arrested 60-year-old illegal alien from Laos. A criminal history includes a conviction for lewd or lascivious acts with a child under 14 in Fresno, California, and inflicting corporal injury, spouse or cohabitant in Santa Barbara, California. Then finally, you have this guy here, which is an illegal alien from Mexico, was arrested by ICE, LA, and has a prior arrest for human smuggling and money laundering. So again, these people are coming into our country and committing horrible violence, not to only just kids, but also money laundering, etc. Get these people out of here. This is the reason why we don't need illegal immigrants in the first place. The fact that we think that keeping illegal immigrants in this country is a good thing is asinine. They're illegal. They're breaking the law. And if we're going to say, oh well, they give they make a lot of the job market. Have you ever thought that maybe that when companies look at these illegal immigrants, because they're not illegal immigrants are not recognized by the U.S. that they're actual citizens. So if they're not recognized as citizens, unlike the Democrats are wanting to do, which they want to recognize these people as citizens, then these companies would end up paying these people below minimum wage, like $4, $3 an hour, which is usually a lot more compared to what they're getting paid in their shithole countries. And these people take the jobs of actual hardworking Americans that they can't get the jobs because these companies will hire these people and they will get the job instead of an actual American citizen, which makes that inflate because now they're a part of the bigger workforce, right? The illegal aliens. But it doesn't matter because the fact of the matter is that the illegal aliens are the ones that are taking the jobs from actual Americans. That's just straight up the truth. Because no company is going to hire somebody, if they can, an American citizen, if they could pay somebody else to pay for a significantly less amount of money. That's asinine. So again, this is the reality that we're living in. This is why this is all going on. And again, the insanity here is just through the roof. Just through the roof. So yeah, we have Democrats committing money laundering, and then we also have where these people are also doing all these other sorts of crimes, right? So I don't know what else to tell you here. It's crazy, and this is where we're at. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.